Somebody once asked Donald Trump, how do you handle being at the center of all of this media attention, the whirlwind around you? How do you weather the storm? And he looked up and he said, I am the storm. I am the storm.
I don't give a damn.
You're fired. Are you gay?
Do not come. Do not come. Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Good morning, TDD family. How is everybody doing? Do not forget to hit that like button. Hopefully you guys are having a great morning, got your coffee ready to get into the show. This is officially our first full week of the MAGA morning show, so big shout out to that. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central. If you want to skip to the show, the topics, there will be timestamps in the description below and in the comment section. All right. For those of y'all that just want to skip to it. But for the rest of y'all, good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are all doing great. We got so many things to talk about. Migrant invasion, right? Now Spain is dealing with a migrant crisis. It's not their first one. I saw videos around 7-8 months ago that were also showing a migrant crisis back then, and now they're going through it all over again. And it's the same thing that happened to us here in the United States when we put Democrats in leadership, right? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, open border policies, getting flooded by millions of illegals, and hell, even opening the door wide open and giving them, a slap on the ass on their way in the door. All right? We just let it happen. This is what happens when socialists take over, right? And we all know socialism is just the first step towards communism, but that's what happens, man. And it's the same thing over there in Spain, who also has liberal leadership, socialism in their systems, right? We also got socialists just openly admitting that they are going to try to take over this country and turn it into a socialist society. They tell you exactly what they're going for: abolish ICE, abolish the police. Hell, I saw a video of Nick Shirley yesterday talking to a woman. She said, yeah, you know what? I'm good with getting rid of prisons. Just let the criminals roam free. That's supposed to fix crime by allowing people to just do whatever the hell they want. No, that's how you turn into a third world hellhole that we see invading Spain right now. You're going to see it. I'm going to show you guys videos. I'm going to show you guys what's going on over there. Tonight on the live stream on the Daily Discourse channel, we have to dive into all these videos that are coming out because it's chaos. It's mayhem. They're breaking into houses. They're burning stuff in the streets, and it just seems like the law enforcement over there isn't doing a damn thing, just letting it all happen. It's bad, man. We got some updates on the Houston shooting here in Texas. The Houston man that was shot by ICE agents, right? Because he was trying to escape them, flee them, and put their lives in danger. Well, now one of the illegal aliens that was in the van with him has been released from custody. And he's speaking out, giving his side of the story. All right, we're going to get into that. You're going to need a translator though, because he don't know English. Go figure, right? And on top of that, the Seattle police chief got fired yesterday, right? I told you guys about it happening because, I was my sources were telling me overnight that it was going to happen. And late last night, the mayor came out and explained what exactly happened. Okay. Well, guess what? The NAACP, the Black Folk Coalition, Al Sharpton and others are upset because you have a white woman firing a black man. What? We don't do that around here, ma'am. Okay. So they're having a little uproar about it and people are questioning, well, what the hell is going on with that? All right. So we got to talk about that as well. Haitians, y'all already know Haitians TPS is gone, done away with. So we're going to talk about that too, because they're already suffering the consequences of relying on, I guess, permanent protected status when that's not the case. That's not what they had. They had temporary protected status, right? Liberals are over there holding Madison, Wisconsin neighborhoods hostage. It's going to be a banger of a show, man. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm just so excited about these morning shows, guys. I really am. And so I hope you guys are excited too. I know you guys have been enjoying it. The numbers speak for itself. The comments, all of you guys are saying you're enjoying the look of the show, the fact that it's early in the morning. And I'm glad you guys get to enjoy it, because I've been trying to do morning shows so many times. I've done it a couple times here and there, and it just didn't seem like it worked in my schedule with my family and everything like that. But I feel like right at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., it's the easiest way to fit it in. Because usually this would be where I'd be eating breakfast, or I would be walking or doing something like getting lawn work done or something like that. But I'm like, how about I just push that down, and just come straight here. We just get straight to work and then we can go from there. And that seems to be working out really good. My son is about to start school next week. So again, I might have to push the show back to about 8:30 or 9. So just be aware of that. Yeah, and I know I'm sure some of y'all are working in the morning, so you might miss it. That's why I edit it out. I make it into it, each topic into its own video, and I release that throughout the day. So I understand, but that's why the replay is always live. It's always going to be here as well. Dreamer, thank you for the finger heart. Interesting little gift they got there. Thank you for the finger heart. I appreciate it. As always, if you guys want to be the sponsorship of the show, just send super chats. Your name will pop up down here if you were the top super chatter of the show. You're not a fan of yard work? I love yard work. I'm about to go out. When I get done with this, I'm about to go outside and just look around for something to do. That's what I'm going to do today. I might go to Lowe's and get this tool to basically dig a trench for my electric line that I'm about to put to my shed. Because I was thinking about hiring somebody to do it, but that shit's going to be expensive. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do it all myself. I'm no expert when it comes to electrical stuff. I mean, I get it. I know how to hook up the panels and all that. It's digging the ditch to put the line down. That's going to be the hard part. It's like 130 feet from my house to where the shed's going to be. So it's going to be a little tough. It will definitely be a little tough. But we're going to get to it, man. We are absolutely going to get to it. Man, what do we got to start with today? Do we start with the invasion going on in Europe, or do we start with... You know what? This is what we're going to start with. We got to talk about the DHS statistician. Is that how you say it? DHS statistician basically cooking the books and getting fired for it. All right, so let's go ahead and... Well, I want to talk about that or socialism. Where do we go from here? Let's get into it, man. Maybe I'll push that one down. Let's push that one down a little bit later. I want to get right into this migrant crisis. That's what I want to do. All right. So, y'all ready to get with the show, man? Claire, thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate that. Look for some place to rent a trench, like one of those trench diggers. I don't have a truck with like a trailer attached to it or anything like that. So I could probably rent one out from Lowe's, I believe. But they would have to, I don't know if they deliver it so I could use it that day, or if I could get a trailer to go down there, pick it up, bring it all the way back, use it, and then take it back down there. I don't know. The question is, will we get a good wienering today? That's the real question. I don't have a Tractor Supply anywhere. Y'all know me. I live in the middle of nowhere. I have a Lowe's that's about 45 minutes away. That's as close. That's as good as it gets. Actually, you know what? I do have a hardware store up the street, but I don't know if they rent out tools like that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. As soon as I'm done with the show, I'm gonna go ahead down there and talk to them about it. But they did tell me this morning, or not yesterday morning, they told me that they were done painting the shed and that it's basically all done. They said they wanted to wait for the paint to dry before they send me pictures of it, and it's supposed to be ready to ship on Monday. Now, last week they told me it was ready to go on Wednesday, and then I called them and asked them some questions, and they said, well, actually they want to do some finishing touches on it, and then they said they got to paint it when I thought it was done already. I don't know. The receptionist said, oh, look, it's done. We're going to send it next week. And here we are a week later. Still don't have it, but it's okay. Patience, right? I can't wait to get that studio, man. It's going to be expensive. It's whatever, but Tell you what, man, I'm gonna move all my stuff into there. We're gonna turn that thing into a whole studio, and get it going. It'll be a while until I get it all set up and done with, but when we do get in there, we're gonna get to work, man. I'm gonna have multiple setups in there. We're gonna have a desk in there that's just like kind of like a news desk almost, that kind of setup. I don't know it depends on how big it is. Like it's 12 by 20, so it's a pretty decent size, but sounds like they're giving you the runaround. It does sound like that, I'll tell you that, but it's all right. I mean, I was surprised they got it done so fast. As long as they get it done right and they bring it and everything is good to go. What's up, Moon Wolf? Thank you for joining us over on Kick. Is Rumble not going? Yo, oh my God. Rumble never starts when it needs to. All right, if you guys are on Rumble, say hi. I can see y'all now. My neighbor, actually, he hires this local crackhead all the time to do their yard work. He's the one that set my lawn on fire last year. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was here working in the office and I look out the window. Let's see how beautiful a day it is. There's a damn fire truck in my backyard. There's dudes over there scrambling to put fire out all over the place. I'm like, what the heck? The whole fire department's in my backyard. I had no idea. I'm sitting in here editing videos, watching YouTube, just tapping on my phone. Then I said, let me check out what's going on outside. Damn fire truck right outside my window in my backyard. Left huge indentions of like the wheel indentions just in my grass. It almost burned down the electric pole. So the city had to come out and replace that thing. So thankfully it's all replaced. But yeah, that was crazy. And there was no, like, the fire trucks were loud, right? It just didn't click in my head. I heard the noise of the trucks. I'm thinking like, oh, they must be mowing the lawn back there with their tractors, their tractors and shit. No, it's a damn fire truck out here, basically being between the fire and my house. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? There goes my yard. But hey, the grass is back now. The grass is alive, stronger, looking prettier than ever. So yeah, man. Anyways, his crack lab exploded. No, they were okay. So they tore down a Aren't you filming from your shed? That's because that shed has all right, hold on one second. So the reason the fire started is because they were tearing down a barn. He just dismantled it. It was hot as hell, dry as hell, windy as hell that day. He threw it all into a pile. He set it on fire, and then he went to go smoke across the street. He went to go smoke in the house across the street. I'm not even kidding about that. And then I asked the dude that hired him, was like, so what happened? You can't trust a fucking crackhead for nothing. He went over to his house and smoked, I guess, in the backyard. I don't know what he smoked, but he set it on fire, walked away, and went to the backyard of his house to go smoke. Next thing you know, there's fire trucks everywhere. Their whole yard was torched. It was gone. Now it's just like mostly dirt. It's funny though, the way I asked him, like, what happened? Can't trust a crackhead worth the fuck. Well, that's what happens when you hire crack. He wants to do it cheap, so that's what they did. That was before they built that little house next door to my house. But Maria, good morning, Demaria. Good to see you. You said, aren't you filming from your shed, Arturo? No, I'm in my house. This is my office. The other little studio I have is in a shed, but it's also a storage shed. So it's full to the max. It's like there's no room in there for anything. There's my desk, there's the camera, there's the wall behind me. You guys see that. But around that, it's just a bunch of junk. It's my drum sets. It's all sorts of stuff we just got crammed in there. And you think I have too many studios? You never have enough never have too many studios. It's just crammed in there with all sorts of stuff, and it's not even fully insulated. It's not fully drywalled or anything like that. So I was gonna spend the money to do it, but then I was like, well, let me talk to these people down the street that make sheds, and I talked to them. I was just gonna get a brand new shed so I can use that as storage and then finish the shed I got. But I talked to them, and they have an option where you can have like spray foam insulation. You can have the walls panels put in and electricity all. So I can just basically get like a tiny house, right? And so I asked them about it. They had a deal going on. I was like, hell, sign me up, man. Sign me up. So yeah, man. Have you not seen Asmon Gold Studio? It's all you need, bro. Nah, not me. I'm different. Asmon Gold, he struck gold, okay, but I'm different. So now I can actually use that thing as storage. I'm going to have my own studio out there. By the way, I have to use this room for the baby's room in the future, right? This is going to be the baby's room. So I'm like thinking way down the road, okay, you know what? I got to get out of this room, free it up. Let's go ahead and get over there. And yeah, it is a good tax write-off. Let's not forget that. But I'm going to basically just have a whole dedicated shed for everything. So I'll be able to use that as storage. We'll have this room freed up, repaint it and all that good stuff. This will be the baby's room in the future. And we'll be all good to go. Although the baby won't be sleeping in here for a while, the baby won't even be here till February next year. My wife, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't ask permission from my wife. That's the way that goes. I said, hey, I'm buying the studio. She said, okay. To agree on this shed studio? Yeah, okay. My wife knows me, man. If I run it, if I got shit to pay, I just better work harder. That's all it is. That's all it is. And so we'll do it. She don't worry about that shit at all. She just, I don't know. She just does what a wife does. Takes care of the house, takes care of the kids. Well, kid right now, but about to be kids. She just does her part. We both do our part. She don't worry about the bills. She don't worry about the debt. She don't worry about none of that stuff, which is good. And you know what else? When she goes out with her sister and they go to the Target or something, she don't worry about that card saying decline. That's for damn sure. She don't ever worry about that. She just gets to go out there, do her thing, make her life much easier. But she works hard for it. So, Karen Marie, thank you for the happy poop. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got to talk about this invasion. All right. We got an absolute invasion over here in Spain. Oh, boy. How do we even get into this, man? We're going to go really in depth into this whole invasion thing tonight on my other channel. The whole live stream tonight is going to be about that. We're going to be looking at all the videos that are released. Maybe we'll get live streams out there. I don't know, but let's at least talk about it and know what is going on in case you guys are not aware, right? So let's get into it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Is my wife's sister single? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to stay that way, but she is not like my wife at all. I'll tell you that. She does not have the same values as any of us. That's just the way it is. So, in other words, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, all right? Let's get into it, bro. Let's get into it. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. All right. In Spain, we have a mass wave of immigrants invading the country. They are coming from Africa, going over to Spain. Now, Spain owns a tiny part of Africa, or a tiny bit of land in Africa, and that's exactly where they're crossing into. So let's get into it, man, because there's like 50,000 immigrants crossing over right now. The border is wide open. The law enforcement in Spain is not doing anything. And let's get into it, man. It's getting crazy over there.
Well, now it is time for the debrief. Europe has fallen. I'm about to show you the consequences of the mass migration, open borders, multiculturalism experiment. This is Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta, where thousands of migrants have invaded the coast, breaching Morocco's border. Unbelievable. Spain's civil guard chief has declared the border has totally collapsed. Adults, even children, soaked and wet, entered the town after having swum around barriers on the coast. They are running on the beach. They're running on the roads. Migrants reportedly walked cheerfully through the streets, thanking the Spanish police and calling out, "Bye bye Morocco, hello Spain."
This is crazy, man. This is insane. This is like this is a fun game to them. This is insane. This is gonna be us if we don't go out there and vote. Oh wait a minute. I forgot. I'm sorry. Silly me, stupid me, dumbass me. This was already us. This was us before Trump got in office again. This was us just a few years ago. Just a few years ago, we had wide open borders, millions of illegals flooding in here. Only a chunk of them, just a small chunk of them, were able to go through the process of claiming asylum, right? The rest of them, they just ran in here and did whatever the hell they wanted to. Yeah, we've already been through this. And hopefully people are paying attention. You know, that if we don't vote and keep socialists and these radical Democrats out of office, this is going to be us again. We already have that. We have such a bad immigration issue that we will never fix it in our lifetimes. All of us, any of us, your kids, they will never see the end of it. America will never recover from the damage done by the Biden administration. Never. It's just we have to sustain it now and not collapse in ourselves, right? All it takes is just a couple years and they can completely destroy this country. And they were going for it. They were assuming that Biden was going to make another term. They were assuming that Kamala Harris was going to win. But then Donald Trump came in, shut the border down, put a stop into it. Now we stopped the bleed, and now we're doing mass deportations, which even at the height of ICE operations, even at the maximum capacity, it's still only going to be 1 million. And if you're really really hoping for the best, 2 million illegals deported a year, right? And supposedly we have anywhere from 50 million to 100 million illegals in the country. That's going to take anywhere from 25 to 100 years to get rid of them. And that's if we don't have one single Democrat president in that time span that says wide open borders, baby, and then another 20 million flood in. And then what? It's like we made 2 steps forward on the Trump administration. One Democrat president comes in and we go 20 steps back. That's how bad it is, man. And we already see the socialists coming in here saying that they want wide open borders, but that's what we have to look forward to. And you know what's crazy? The Democrats that vote for these idiots in office, they think this is cool. Like, this is just, you know, this is how we should be. We should be nice to everybody. Let them come in our house. Why don't you have your house wide open right now? If you're a Democrat, have your door open right now and say, everybody come on in. Have at my food here. You can have my bed, take my shit. Hell, take me while you're at it. You know, why don't we just do that? It's basically the exact same thing. And then when they come in, they say, hey, I'm hungry. Oh, hold on. Let me get my wallet out. Let me go buy you some food. Because that's basically what we're doing for them right now. You know? Hell, oh, they're taking my house. Oh, well, you know, I just wanted to be nice and fair and give people their human rights. Yeah, okay. And then I mean, come on. It's crazy, man. Why don't you just give the cartel your organs too while you're at it? But the Democrats will not look at this and say that this is a bad thing. They think this is great. This is glorious. We love it. This is so kumbaya. Give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. Right? That's what they think this is. Yeah, Spain is fucked. They're fucked because they have democratic leadership. Well, not democratic leadership, but they have leftist socialist leadership right now. And so you can actually see like police and members of, I guess, their border patrol, like actually helping them.
Adults, even children.
Look at this. Look at this. That's like law enforcement right there, actually helping them get out of the water and get in there. This is so crazy.
On the beach. They're running on the roads. Migrants reportedly walked cheerfully through the streets, thanking the Spanish police and calling out, bye-bye Morocco, hello Spain.
Bye-bye Morocco.
Migrants were seen climbing
Look at this.
barbed wired fences, practically swinging off them as if they were monkey bars. I mean, this resembles the third world. This looks like Somalia or Nigeria. It is utter madness.
It's about to be.
Chaos. It is carnage. And at least 9 people have died. Now, it comes after more than 1,500 migrants arrived in Ceuta by sea over the past week alone. And this is indeed an invasion. How would this ever be accepted in any civilized nation anywhere else in the world? But we shouldn't be shocked by this.
Well, I mean, we let it happen, so, you know, it's not too outlandish.
Spain is in a diabolical immigration crisis of its own making after the government unveiled a mass amnesty plan to grant legal status to illegal migrants. Nearly 1.2 illegal migrants in Spain have already submitted applications over recent months to receive this legal residency. So we're talking work permits and other benefits, and of course, likely paid by the taxpayer. It even led to a rush of Pakistani migrants in Barcelona filling out their paperwork. And why wouldn't they? In January, the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez hit back at the criticism of his immigration policies.
Some say we've gone too far, that we're going against the current. But I would like to ask you, when did recognizing rights become something radical? When did empathy become something exceptional? Spain is above all a welcoming country, and this is the path we choose.
Well,
Look, I know there's women out there right now, they hear that accent, they hear that voice, and they just go, oh, yes, give the illegals everything they want. Just give me that. Just talk to me, daddy. They hear that voice and they're like, okay.
To ask you, when did recognizing rights become something radical?
Got that Antonio Banderas accent going on.
Empathy become something exceptional. Spain is above all a welcoming country, and this is the path we choose.
well, what could possibly have gone wrong? I mean, he said they chose this path and now you lie in it. The consequences of mass migration, open borders, multiculturalism, they're playing out in real time in Ceuta. This illegal migrant even told a local Spanish TV station that he fled Morocco because he is linked to a murder case.
Yeah, listen, bro, this is, oh my goodness, this is bad. This is so bad, man. Now, right, okay, this dude literally admitted that he's a murderer, right? and he's fleeing the country. We had all that too when we had wide open borders under the Biden administration, right? We had all that happening here. Now, what you got to see, the left, there are people on the left that say this is all fake. This is all hoax. Never happened. They're just making this all up. There's more Fed schlop. All right, hold on. I got a video of it. Hold on one second. Where's that? There it is.
There's now an invasion of Spain. All these illegals are coming over from Morocco. People are just falling for the nonsense. If you really take your lenses off and look at this, you're seeing the same pages pushing out this fear. One of the ringleaders of all of this, Tommy Robinson. Here's the message. You fucking wanker. You created this mess. You are a traitor to your people. Every Spanish citizen that is raped and murdered by an invader, there is blood on your hands. Now they're going after the president, Sanchez. And you're seeing all the same pages, including all the communists that got banned from the UK coming to Tommy Robinson's speech. Look, it's every single one of them. They are all on the same script. They all get funded by the same people. These are the communists. This is the reason why the UK government stopped them from coming in. They're clearly on the same script. It's an invasion. It's embarrassing because they're exposing themselves every single time we see these things. And they're all pushing the same message. Get Sanchez out. And people argue with this. No, this is real. Look at them all coming in. Watch this video where they're all just celebrating coming in. They got no clothes or anything, but they're invading Spain.
He's saying this is all fake.
Now let's go back to Afghanistan. When the Taliban took over overnight and everyone was running for their lives at the airport. It's exactly the same. It's a production. They're all celebrating in this. And people are like, no, there's another one. Look at all the people. You can't stage this. Okay, let's go back over to America where they've been showing us all this to start with because they knew this was coming. Can you remember the caravan, the immigrant invasion at the border? All these people had walked for days to get over to America. And when they showed us the videos, if you look at their clothes, they're brand new. They're sparkling brand.
This guy is handpicking like one or two videos and just running with this theory. Bro, there is millions of videos of the migrant crisis, of them going crazy, of them fighting with Border Patrol, beating the hell out of Border Patrol, of them coming over the fences. Like, what are we talking about? He just goes over here and hand select a couple videos here and there and say, yeah, here it is. Here's my little cute, quirky TikTok video. This guy is crazy. But this is the left. This is what you can expect. They are professional liars.
No, it's all staged. It's
all staged.
Because there is this illegal immigration problem that's been happening in the Western countries for years. The good guys are now in control, including fake news. They're ramping it up so much, knowing that these people, the gatekeepers, are reporting on it because they want you in fear. They're saying, look how bad it is. They're all on the same script. And then you get examples of this. Look what the guy's written. It's are coming out in numbers to protest. All these illegals coming in, they're all singing and celebrating. It's like a football anthem. They're not protesting. Imagine if you were really shocked and really annoyed with what you're seeing. That would not be the protest.
This is what you get, guys. The left will lie to you all day, every day. And yes, I went through his comments and people are debunking him. They're showing videos of, the migrant crisis. And he's like, oh, that's all fake. But just like this, look. As real as fight. So fake. Staged. Then you have Georgia Maloney speaking about it. And he says, well done. She works for Trump too. It's like you can't with these people, bro. You can't with them. They'll be in their house, right? Their Section 8 house, a black man will be robbing them, and they'll say, "You see that white man took everything from me," even though they just watched him. They just watched this Somali guy come in and steal their shit and run out there. No, Somalis aren't stealing nothing, even though they're literally stealing out of his own pockets. These people are crazy. The left is insane, but they wanted this. They want this. They want the invasions. They want the collapse of a country. They want to turn everything. They just want the whole world to be kumbaya. Nobody has more than the other guy. We're all peaceful. We're all on the same page. You know, no hunger. No one's hungry. No one has to work. We just all live and eat off the trees and dirt. It's crazy. It's crazy. The mentality is crazy. These people they don't think past next Tuesday. They're lucky to even think that far, right? It's like they want, but they don't understand how to get or what the consequences are for getting that if they even got what they wanted. They just they live in a fantasy world. That's the easiest way to put it. They're so delusional. They're so just out of reality. They live in a fantasy world. And the things they want are just never going to happen. Because the moment you get that, there will be one person who stands up and disrupts the whole thing and takes over. Somebody, you're not going to, humans are not, everyone's got to, you got to kill what you eat. You know, nobody's going to sit there and just be that world of just everyone at peace and no hunger and all that peaceful bullshit, unicorns and polka dots. Like that shit don't exist. It's never going to exist, never has existed in history and time. Socialism has never worked. Communism has never worked. And it's not going to work. It's just never going to work. What we have right now is as good as it gets. The peace we have right now is as good as it gets. It don't get no better than this. But y'all keep fucking it up. Y'all make it harder for us to just enjoy the country we built. But anyways, it's a whole mess. This is us if we let Democrats get back in control. And let me tell you, eventually there will be a Democrat president who gets back into control. And this will be us all over again. And then we're going to have to get someone even harder, someone more defiant than Donald Trump. And the left is going to be crying all. It's just an endless cycle. That's what we got, man. That's what we got going on here. Never going to end. Never. But speaking of socialists, we have to talk about the Democratic Socialists of America. That's what we got to talk about. We got any super chats? Zelda Maxine, thank you for the flower. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and get this going. Now remember, this show is only Monday through Friday, so we're not going to do Saturday and Sunday, but this is going to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central. All right, guys? We have about 100 people that have not hit the like button yet. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Please hit that like button. Now we got to talk about Democrat socialists. All right. As we all know, socialism and communism is on the rise in our beautiful country, and the Democrats aren't even trying to hide it anymore, okay? Let's listen to what the Democrat Socialists of America are actually fighting for, what they plan on doing when, not if, but when they eventually do get elected.
I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party, my party, telling us that in order for us to be progressives, we now have to believe ideas and support ideas that are completely nuts.
You got a set of defunding, decriminalizing, open borders. We have run that play and gotten our butts kicked. We don't need to do it a second time to see if it turns out, if the movie turns out any different.
Prominent Democrat voices pushing back on the growing influence of the Democratic Socialist candidates they say are ultimately going to hurt the Democrat Party. So let's talk about it with the national co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America, Megan Romer. Megan, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Shannon.
Okay, so there's this growing conversation about whether you can exist within the party, whether you want to upend it for your own purposes, a totally different platform. The Daily Economy quotes you saying this at a DSA convention last year. We will win by making conditions so intolerable for the ruling class that they would rather give in to our demands than continue to live with the disturbance we cause until we are able to fully seize power ourselves. Is that aimed at the Democrat Party?
It's aimed from the working class to the ruling class. So the two-party duopoly, the two corporate parties, it is aimed at both of them, and it comes from the working class.
So
yes, it's aimed at people that indulge and try to support a system that runs capitalism. Yes, this is actually good because we do have a division on the left, but we also have divisions on the right as well, right? We'll talk about that later, and we have talked about that a lot recently, but there is a division on the left, right? But a lot of people, especially the younger generations, are jumping ship from the moderate Democrat part and going to the far left socialist part, right? And you got these older Democrats, these people like in the boomer generation, Gen X and stuff like that. They don't agree with all this crazy radical stuff, but they don't have the balls to fight back against it. So the younger generations are going all the way to the left. They want to dismantle this country. They want communism to take over. They want to get rid of law enforcement. A woman yesterday talking to Nick Shirley literally said, I'm good with getting rid of jails and court system, like get rid of everything. So everyone can just live free and do whatever they want. So what about murderers? What if someone murdered your daughter or something like that? Oh, it's cool. It's fine. You know, we built a system that oppressed them, that caused them to do that. So I think we should dismantle the whole system. Okay. Yeah. Great. That's great. That's fantastic.
Should Van Jones and Rahm Emanuel and James Carville and all of the establishment Democrats be worried about DSA plans from within their tent?
The establishment Democrats should be worried about the voters and about what the voters think and about what the constituency thinks. And right now they have not been delivering, and our candidates are and have been, and it's resonating with voters.
So Jamie Harrison, who was the DNC chair, after you guys had such a big night in New York City and knocking off some of those incumbents and having success with your candidates in the congressional primaries, he said, if you hate the Democratic Party, then don't run for our nomination. Don't use our resources. Don't rely on our volunteers. Don't use our infrastructure. Focus on building the party you actually support. Other Democrats out there saying this is a separate party, the DSA. You don't belong within the party. How do you respond to his statements there?
Yeah, I mean, the two parties have over years and decades created a system where ballot line access is extremely difficult for third parties. I also have been told a lot of times by Democrats, don't vote third party, it's wasting your vote. So we run on the Democratic ballot line where it makes sense. We run independents sometimes where that is a viable possibility, but it's a ballot line. And what matters is what the voters think. And the voters are overwhelmingly choosing our candidates.
They certainly did in New York and in other places, Colorado and others. It's not just a big city phenomenon or just a blue coastal phenomenon. Sure. Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true.
Pay attention.
These,
look at that. We just got to eliminate the Senate.
Your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them. Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen. Democrats need to wake the fuck up. Older Democrats in their 50s, Gen X, look, as much as I don't agree with y'all, right? I think y'all ran this country into the ground already. Your party has been taken over by a terrorist organization. They are not playing around. They are coming for your kids. They're coming for their kids. They're coming for your country. They are in the country. They're in your part. The Democrat Party is a corpse, okay? And socialists are inside the corpse walking around, wearing y'all like a skin suit. Not Don Lemon. Y'all can get, you Democrats on CNN and MS Now, like y'all can pretend like the far left is, estranged or it's something different from y'all. No, they are in your party. Your party is dead. Y'all need to wake up, bro. Like you need to make a choice. Do we want to fight for this dead party that is being taken over and is already overwhelmed because we just allowed it to happen? We allowed, all this crazy transgenderism crap, all this, allow us to chop. Yeah, go ahead, chop my 5-year-old's nuts off. That's cool. That's freedom. He picked up a Barbie for 2 seconds one day, and so I just felt like he was a girl. Yeah, go ahead and chop his nuts off. Yeah, that's cool. That's what you Democrats said, right? And now look at your party. This woman is talking about literally dismantling the entire government, getting rid of the presidency, getting rid of the Supreme Court, getting rid of the Senate so that we only have a House of Representatives that run the entire country, getting rid of ICE, getting rid of the borders, letting everyone that came in illegally just full amnesty. What are we talking about here? I just told y'all, this is a fantasy world. This does not make sense. This will never happen, especially not to the United States of America. But you guys keep voting for this. You are allowing it to, because you're not paying attention. You guys are watching CNN and MS Now, and they're just telling you about Trump, 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 Trump. Look at your own fucking party. Look at your own candidates. Y'all just voted for a Muslim socialist to be the mayor of the richest city in the country. Even the moderate Democrat Party, the boomer generation, they should at least have been fighting back against that. But no, they just sat back quietly. They hate Trump so much. They're so addicted to hating Trump. They are so focused on Trump that this other party, Socialist Party, came in and took over their party. And y'all just let it happen because you're so focused on Trump. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are stupid. And that's why you deserve to have your party taken over by these terrorists. Listen, look at this woman. Listen to her. At this point, it is America versus this. Look, I would rather side with the old Democrat Party to fight against this that's trying to take over. That's the way it should be. It should be Republicans and moderate Democrats. Hell, even us. Like, it should be moderate Democrats and Republicans versus the far right, which is now claiming Israel's taken over the world and all this other bullshit on our side, on the Republican side, right? It should be us against them and also against these socialists. Y'all gotta wake up, America. Y'all have to wake up, man. Y'all keep falling for the propaganda. Y'all think Erica Kirk killed Charlie Kirk. You say she's faking gay, right? Everything's faking gay. They covered up the Epstein files. Ooh, No, they're all released. We saw everything. That's why nobody's talking about them no more, because we saw everything from the Epstein files, and there ain't shit to arrest nobody for, and they're not going to go after anybody. Definitely didn't have nothing on Trump. Is America going to wake up, or are we just going to sit back and, like, the more that we are arguing with moderate Democrats, the more these other parties, these far right and the far left, are working against us, tearing us apart from our own side. It's like two armies, right, fighting against each other, while there's other armies that came from our own side that are fighting against us as well from the other side. And we're all just stuck in the middle. Normal Americans are just stuck in the middle. So yes, the communists are coming. The actual far righters are coming. I guess you can call them fascists, I guess. But the hell, that word has lost all meaning. Because apparently if you want closed borders and a secure, law enforcement and laws enforced, you're just a fascist now. So that has lost all meaning. But man, y'all, we need to wake up in this country, man. Absolutely need to wake up. Otherwise, women like this are going to run this country right into the ground, destroy everything we've built for centuries. 250 years gone to waste because some crazy cat lady bitch with these ugly ass glasses took over the world, took over our country. But are people going to wake up? I don't know. You let me know. You let me know what you think. Absolutely crazy, man.
Now at 11, a major.
But let's see our first super chat of the day. Trisha, thank you for the 5. You say, love the morning show. Thank you. I appreciate that. And with that, since you're the only super chatter, you are now sponsor of the show. So thank you for sponsoring today's show. Ricky, there you go. Thank you for another $2 at Arturo Coffee. I love the morning. Arturo 13, 6 a.m. Arturo 6. Shout out to you. He must have spilled his coffee on his keyboard. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you. All right, let's get to it, man. We got to talk about the Seattle nonsense going on here because let me start it like this. So yesterday news came out that the police chief. Yesterday it came out that the police chief in Seattle was told to either resign or he was going to be fired, right? And now it is public. It has been made public. The mayor of Seattle, Katie Wilson, as incompetent as she is, came out and said that he is no longer going to be working as police chief, right? Well, there's been some backlash over that because people don't like seeing a white woman fire a black man. And so because of that, there's going to be some uproar about it. Done so many things on her own that this is the first thing y'all say, you know what? I would like an explanation on that. Y'all voted for this incompetent idiot. This woman lives in the basement. She lived in the basement of her parents' house until she was in her 40s. And y'all wanted this woman to take over. You know what happened? She lied to y'all and said she's gonna have socialism for you guys. She's gonna give y'all what you want. Tax the rich, give to the poor. And y'all fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Remember, yesterday he was set to have like multiple interviews with multiple news stations, and people were going to be asking him, why do you live in Chicago, yet you're the police chief in Seattle? Why were you in Dallas, Texas, and you weren't supposed to be back in Seattle until mid-August? Why was all that happening? How are you the police chief of Seattle when you barely spend time in Seattle, right? And that was all going to come out. That was all going to be a live news coverage and everything like that, right? Everyone was getting that hot story. As soon as that was all set up, before he even got to that first interview, is when the news came out that he was going to have to resign. So I think she did it to try to save her own ass. Really, she did it to try to make sure we're not attacking Seattle. We're not talking about Seattle and saying, well, how the hell do you have someone running the police department who doesn't even live there? He rents an apartment in Seattle. His family and his primary residence is in Chicago. And he used to be the police chief of Madison, Wisconsin, while also living in Chicago. Another liberal hellhole. I didn't know it was 4. I know it was like there was a woman that resigned and then he came in. I didn't know there was like others. In just 2 years, y'all have gone through 4 police chiefs? And y'all wonder why crime is so out of control in Seattle. So, okay, y'all remember they put the press conference off for like 5-6 hours, right? They had to get that congresswoman, drag her ass out of bed, bring her drunk, hungover ass in front of you guys so she looked like a damn sleep paralysis demon in front of y'all, right? Y'all remember her with her big old eye looking crazy at y'all? Y'all remember her? They had to get y'all together so that way they could drag these congressmen and politicians in front of y'all, and they could say, let's fight against gun violence. Let's ban the guns. But they botched it. They completely botched it. So now, instead of taking the hit for, trying to use these people's deaths as a political pawn and a political statement to fight against gun control or fight for gun control, now she's going to say, well, actually, it was a police chief's fault, but don't worry, I've dealt with it. Is that what we're talking about here? Don't worry, I've dealt with it. He's gone. So don't come at me with nothing. How did you not know? Well, how did you not know? Look at this crazy cat lady. That's y'all's mayor. That's the woman that runs the whole city. And y'all elected this? I'm struggling to see if I would hire her at Dollar General, at Walmart to check receipts. Man, I guess you can clean the bathrooms at, at some restaurant, fast food place or something. What are we talking about? No. There she is. This is a shit show. What the fuck do we need a congresswoman to come down here for? Just send a damn police officer and say, this is what happened at the time and this is blah, 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 blah. We don't need the fucking mayor to show up. We don't need and then the mayor didn't even say nothing anyways. What did she come out and say? She came out and said, this is a tragedy. We won't have this in our area. We'll hold them accountable. Next. The congresswoman, I don't even know if she spoke. What, she just had to show her ugly ass face there?
Not responsible for the delay. Delays in the future.
Stop it, bro. Just stop. Just stop. Y'all are trying to cover up for the fact that you were so desperate to use these people's deaths as a talking point, a press conference. Y'all were so desperate to use it. They said, hey man, look, we got mass shootings over here. Look, we got 4 dead. We got 3 dead. Let's go, man. Let's use it. Let's get the gun control scripts ready. Print those out, send them out, shoot them out. Let's go. They used these deaths for a political statement. They withheld information from the public because they had to get their press. Hell, Minneapolis is on point. Y'all remember we had that transgender dude shoot up a church? They all had their ties ready to go. They said, let's get out there. But the bodies are on the ground, still warm. They're still like trying to figure out, they're trying to evacuate people from the church. You got the Minneapolis mayor, the congressman, everyone was already there 10 minutes after the shooting happened. And they're out there having a press conference saying we need to take guns away from people. They were on point. Y'all are a mess over here in Seattle. Y'all can't even do your press shit right.
In studio, I'm Steve Solis.
For Mayor Wilson's complete statement, including her apology, scan the QR code there on your screen.
Okay, we don't need to hear all that. Seattle's is in shambles, man, but I love it. I love seeing it fall apart in real time. I love you Democrats, you socialist idiots, getting exactly what y'all deserve. I fucking love it. We don't have problems like this over here in Texas. I mean, not like this, not on this scale. Do you ever see news stories of mass leadership blunder like at this rate, right? Yeah, it might happen here and there, but in these blue cities, it's like every day. It's like clockwork. Things falling apart, taxes skyrocketing, people losing their lives, their jobs, crime out of control. You don't see that shit coming out from Dallas, Texas, even though it's a Democrat-ran city, which the Democrats switched over to Republican a couple years ago, but it's still a Democrat-ran city, right? You don't see all that blundering, that failure of leadership in these red, Republican cities. You just don't. It's all because you want to vote Democrat. You want to vote these incompetent idiots. They're focused on stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, and stuffing a little bit in their pocket instead of actually managing their city, getting a real budget put together to where they can actually have surplus in their tax revenue. No, it's how much can we steal and how much can we spend? And how much can I get out of it? How much can I stuff in my pockets while no one's looking? How much fraud can we seep into this? That's where we're at. Y'all want to keep voting blue? This is going to be you. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple. But don't worry, the fun does not stop there, baby. We got to go to Houston, Texas. Another blue city, by the way. There's the super chats. Tobini, thank you for the $2. Said, my new go-to morning news recap, phenomenal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, listen, I'm taking over the morning. I'm taking over the night. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. That's plain and simple. That's all it is. Queen Bee's art hype. Queen Bee's art hype. I don't know why your name trips me up so much. Queen Bee, thank you for the $2. Said, love one another. Tomorrow isn't promised. Absolutely. Even if Democrats are crazy, I still love my neighbor. It's just sometimes you got to get a whooping. Steve Byron, thank you for the sparkles. Carrie, thank you for the high five. Trisha with another super chat, thank you for the 10. He said, let's get that super chat goal done. You rock, Arturo. Anything counts towards the super chat goal, $1 or more. Anything counts. Cursed Conservative, that's a cool name. Thank you for the $10, man. He said, have me on your show sometimes, boss. I've been grinding hard out here for a small channel. Hey, man, what you got? Do you have an X account? Hit me up on X. Hit me up on X. Send me a DM. Follow me. Comment me. Just get my attention on X so I don't forget, all right? Name is 86th. Thank you for the $2. And another one. So, BD, thank you for the $2. Said, girl, but I got you. We speak on X, so happy for you. Oh, girl. Oh, you're saying, okay. Thank you, Tobini. Y'all need profile pictures, man. Y'all need to be looking fresh in the profile pictures. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Your guns took off. They ran away. Did they go out there and cause another mass shooting? Because apparently it's the guns doing it, not the people. Trisha, thank you for the $5. Another $5. God bless the United States of America. Absolutely. One more time, Trisha. Speaking of ice, we got to get to it. Oh, just call me Brandy. All right. Thank you for the $2, Brandy. I'll try to remember that. I'm terrible with names. Y'all know I'm terrible with names. I can't even remember the names of some of the people I'm talking about in these news segments, but I'll try to remember that. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate all your support. Been around forever. Let's get to it, man. So, Houston, baby. So in Houston, one of the illegal aliens that was in the van during this whole ICE shooting that happened just a few weeks ago, he has been released from detention. And now he's speaking out about what he saw. You think we could trust him? You think he's telling the truth? Let's get to it.
Breaking news, a witness to the fatal ICE shooting of a Texas man tonight breaking his silence. Jose Trinidad was inside Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's van when he was shot and killed by an agent earlier this month. The two men, along with two others, were on their way to work before 7 a.m. that morning at a work site. Now, after spending weeks in ICE detention, Jose is speaking out in detail, publicly, for the first time about what he saw with his own eyes that morning. He says the government is not telling the truth. And Ed Lavandera is out front with this out front exclusive.
Oh, color me surprised.
Estoy un poco traumado o algo así.
Oh, of course he don't know English. He don't know English. Anyone shocked by that one?
Front exclusive.
Estoy un poco traumado o algo así. Y triste por lo que pasó y más por lo que vi, que yo fui el que vio todo.
Jose Trinidad says things will never be the same, that he's traumatized by the shooting because he saw it all. The 52-year-old construction worker witnessed the final moments of Lorenzo Salgado's life from inside the van, driven by the man he simply called El Patron, the boss. It was just before 7 a.m. on July 7th when ICE officers in unmarked cars started pursuing the four-man crew of construction workers in East Houston. Trinidad says he was sitting a few feet behind Salgado in the van. Jose tells me during the pursuit, he heard the men up front say they were being chased by ICE officers. Videos show ICE officers.
Oh, wait, whoa, wait a minute. I thought they were fleeing for their life because they didn't know who was chasing them. They couldn't tell who it was. That's what we were told. So you mean to tell me they were fleeing law enforcement and they knew they were fleeing law enforcement? He just admitted it. Oh, whoops. Didn't whoops. He didn't know what he was saying right there. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to forgive him. He's traumatized.
Officers pursuing Salgado's van in unmarked cars, at one point racing past the van on Canal Street. The last video shows ICE officers taking the 3 other men into custody and Salgado on the ground, handcuffed, just after being shot.
When the ICE officer shot, where was he standing?
Del lado del
lado de quién?
De su hermano.
Del pasajero.
Del pasajero.
Trinidad says the ICE officer shot Salgado through the passenger window. The Department of Homeland Security.
Now, I've told you guys about this, right? If you were an officer and you are in the window, you have your arms in the window, right? And that vehicle is moving, that is a deadly weapon and your life is in danger. Because what happens if the van moves forward, it clips your arm or it grabs your arm, it knocks you down and the wheels go right over you. I've looked that up. I've looked at other cases where that happens, and that's absolutely how police are supposed to act. They are supposed to shoot. They're supposed to stop the threat. They're supposed to take care of their lives. That is what they're supposed to do. Right? Now, they're going to try to sit here and say that, oh, he wasn't in front of the van. They weren't trying to run him over. They don't understand how the policies work.
He says during the chase,
their training, they don't understand it.
Arrest, then weaponized his vehicle and tried to run over an ICE officer.
Exactly.
When an agent opened fire in self-defense.
Eso es mentira.
Eso es mentira.
Sí.
Trinidad says the DHS statement is a lie. There are no known videos that capture the moment of the shooting. The ICE officers were not wearing body cameras.
En ningún momento estaba ni atrás ni enfrente.
Trinidad says ICE agents were never in front of or behind the van and that Lorenzo was about to turn himself over to the officers.
Él se iba a entregar.
The 3 men with Salgado inside the van have been in custody since the shooting, but this week, a judge ordered Trinidad's release, and this is the first time he's spoken publicly in detail about what happened. After his release, Trinidad paid tribute to his friend at the memorial honoring Lorenzo Salgado on Canal Street, and then prayed at his friend's gravesite.
Gotta have cameras.
Jose Trinidad says he and the other men in the van were simply going to work and that he's speaking out in hopes of getting Lorenzo Salgado and his family justice.
So, what about the meth? We're not going to talk about the meth. We're not going to talk about the fact that they evaded arrest twice that morning. No. We're going to leave that part out. Okay, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. We're going to leave all that important context out. Okay, I'm just asking questions. And that's it.
I mean, Ed, incredibly direct there when he calls the government's version a lie. I mean, but it's also, you talk about the date. This was July 7th when this happened. And here we are almost in August, the last days of July.
I don't care about none of that. Listen, what about the meth? Why did y'all run from the police? Y'all knew, you just admitted y'all knew it was ICE. Why did y'all run? Come on, man. This actually makes them look much, much worse. And let's not forget about this little scumbag attorney over here. This guy, you know, the one who was charged with strangling his wife or his girlfriend or whatever over in Florida, and then got a deal, pled guilty, and just had community service, anger management, and all this other crap, so he wouldn't be also charged with kidnapping. Okay, and then flees over here to Texas, where he has other charges of domestic abuse. Let's not forget this guy, this jackass, okay, who's now facing charges here in Texas. So he goes from Florida, beats the shit out of his wife, strangles her, gets charged with that, gets a deal over there, comes back over here to Texas, does it again. Okay, let's just go ahead and forget all that, right? That doesn't matter. If anything, this just proves our point more that ICE was justified to shoot. So I'm cool with it, man. Hey, listen. Let's just let it play out. Let's let it play out, right? It's as simple as that. When the ICE agent, says that, yeah, I was in the window, then that's it. Case closed. He had every right to shoot. His life was in jeopardy. They knew they were fleeing DHS. That's what he just said in this interview. And I hope whoever is representing ICE is like paying attention to these interviews and their statements, because they can't walk this back. This dude literally just admitted that we knew we were running from ICE. And of course, they're not going to talk about the meth, right? I don't know who this jackass is over here. I don't know. I don't care. But they're just like, yeah, witness says DHS lied. Yeah, we're supposed to believe that the illegal alien that had meth in the van that doesn't even know English, we're supposed to believe this guy. the criminal on the run, we're supposed to believe this guy. That's fantastic. So I'm all good with it. Listen, have more interviews, please, sir. Listen, please, sir, please have more interviews. I want him on CNN, MS Now, and I want him saying the exact same thing. Yeah, we were running from ICE. Yeah, he was in the window on the side of the van. Yeah, we had meth in the vehicle. Yeah, we were smoking on the way to work. Yeah, but you know what? We were just living our best life, baby. We were just living our best life, baby. Just living our best life. So, oh yeah. And I love how CNN is like running with this. Is that, wow, DHS really lied. We know 100% without a shadow of a doubt, DHS lied. Really? Because of what? The criminal fleeing law enforcement? How about all police chases? We go straight to the criminal. Sir, what happened today? I don't know, man. There's like a whole dead body in the back seat. I didn't do nothing, bro. They pulled me over because, they racist. And they said, wow, you see that, guys? Police are now racist. This innocent man didn't do nothing. Why don't we just do that? Interview the criminals and take their word for it. I'm sure they're just honest criminals, This is crazy. But I love it. Keep on having interviews. Keep it going, buddy. Keep it going. Exactly. CNN, Communist News Network. The dead guy just appeared in the back seats. I think the police put him there. Just like they put the meth there. Oh, shit. They put him there just like they put the meth in my van. And they forced me to smoke it too. While my friend lay there dead. Wow. ICE agents forcing illegals to smoke crack while their boss is laying dead on the ground. How awful. Yeah, that's why it's in my system. Yeah. April, thank you for the $10. Say here for you, Arturo. Thank you. Iron Cowgirl Bree, thank you for the high five. Cursed Conservative, man, thank you, brother, for the 20. I have to take off to make video myself. Keep grinding, brother. These demons must be stopped. Let me, I'm going to check out your channel. Take some screenshots of that. I'm going to check out your channel, brother. We'll get into it. Tobini, thank you for the, ma'am. Oh, look at the profile. See? There you go. There's the beautiful smile. Thank you for the 5. He said, do you know about the trans dolls with, yes. With removable parts that Minnesota is putting into schools for 4 to 10-year-olds. Yes, I knew all about that. I was going to talk about that earlier this week, but there was so much to talk about. It didn't really fit in, or I just forgot about it, really. I was going to put it in on the Monday show, and then we just had the show, and I forgot all about it. Yeah, man. Well, I'll bring it up tonight on the other live stream. An Iron Cowgirl, thank you again for the happy poop. Hoping everyone is having a happy poop morning. I can't believe that's a part of my show now. What have I done? Why did I add fart noises?
Right now, this.
We still got a couple things to talk about. We got to talk about Madison, Wisconsin. This is pretty crazy. Oh, that's gonna be a good topic. Hold on, let me save this real quick. Oh, goodness. Talk about that next week, I guess. All right. Let's jump to Madison, Wisconsin. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button. And good to see you guys early in the morning, man. We have 370 people in here. Big shout out to all of y'all for being here. Thank you guys for being here. I love that we have this morning show. It's been going so smoothly. It's been really going good, man. It really has been going good. And I'm really excited about doing the morning show. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I want to do this show so bad. I really do enjoy it. And then the nighttime stream, I love that too. I like that we have like a structured show in the morning where we can talk about these topics, which is how I started the Daily Discourse, right? But I also have the nighttime show where it's like a free-for-all. We could talk about anything we want. We can look at live streams. We can capture any breaking news. We can watch anything we want. Like, it's a free-for-all show. And to me, there's so much freedom in that. And I think you guys have been enjoying it as well. So, hey, man, I like to hear that. He said, your show motivated me to get up every morning early and jog on the treadmill while watching. That's awesome, man. Man, I love this. I love what I do. I love this community I built. I love you guys. We have the best YouTube community ever on the whole platform. This is it right here. All right, let's get back to work. Oh, Wyatt Trowski, thank you for the eagle. I appreciate it, brother. Madison, Wisconsin. So the protesters in Madison, Wisconsin, they're still doing their protests, not nearly as much as they were last week, right? We thought it was going to be BLM 2.0. They didn't quite have it in them to do all that, right? They're not rioting in the streets, but they are still they have an autonomous zone here in Madison, Wisconsin, and it's affecting the community. The people in the communities are saying, okay, we get it. You're upset about this shooting. Can we get on with our lives? Can we go back to normal? You know, but you have these children in grown bodies, these childish liberals that are trying to hold an entire community hostage, and people aren't playing it, man. But first, let me show you what they were doing yesterday. They had a rally for him yesterday.
New tonight, a vigil in Minneapolis for a homeless man shot and killed by police in Madison. The death of Corey Ruiz in Wisconsin continues to draw nationwide backlash.
Okay, so this is in Minneapolis.
You some background here. Police tried to arrest Ruiz after receiving reports about a man attempting to break into cars and steal bikes. And investigators say he pulled a knife, injuring one of the officers. And after attempts to tase him failed, police say the officer who was injured fired his gun 3 times, killing Ruiz. Well, protesters have since argued that that was excessive because cell phone video showed Ruiz on the ground by the time those shots were fired.
So?
We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our change.
Why do they always look like they just haven't showered in forever?
We have nothing to lose but our change. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win.
You know what's been great about the way the new approach from ICE, right, where we don't have like one targeted area? The great thing about that is the left doesn't know where to pull all their resources together in order to attack Donald Trump, ICE, and law enforcement. So what are they doing right now? They're scattered all across the country, and they're just having tiny little protests. You know, they make for a 1-minute segment on the news stations, and that's really it. They don't have any impact on anything. There's no mass riots. There's no huge millions of people gathering together, you know, millions of people. No, it's just literally, they're just yelling at the sky across the country, and it has no effect. They have completely neutered the left in this whole protesting movement because they don't know where to go. And so you just got random little tiny protests all over the place, and nobody gives a shit about those. So I think it's actually working out in our favor. Now, let's go back to Madison, Wisconsin, right? Because they had a city council meeting talking about what they're going to do moving forward.
Right now, this is what it looks like on Williamson Street, where a Madison police officer shot Corey Ruiz during a struggle. People started a memorial almost immediately, which has grown far beyond flowers and candles.
So far, City of Madison leaders haven't made any moves to reopen the street and have used city salt trucks to act as barricades. Tonight, we are digging into how much this is costing.
Chloe Morrissey joins us live now from Willie Street. She talked with city leaders about the encampment and the services the city has been providing.
And Chloe, what did they tell you?
Yeah, I spoke with Alder Davey Mayer, who tells me he fully supports the people's right to peacefully gather here, but that he's also spoken to residents and business owners in this area who he tells me also support the cause, but want regular access to and from their homes and businesses.
Look what's going on back there. That's their little autonomous zone. They've turned the street into their own personal, like, how do we allow this in this country? How do we allow people to just take hostage, block off the road? How is that car parked right there not illegal and being towed? We just allow that. So what happens if you live on this little section? What are you supposed to do? Best of luck. Fuck, man, you're trying to put kids to sleep or something in this little house back here, and there's crackheads in the street yelling and screaming, "Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE!" Got their whistles out, just like yelling and screaming until 2 a.m. because they ain't got nothing to do, no jobs to go to, nothing. And they're shitting in the street, I'm sure, throwing trash in your yard. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just deal with it? Nobody cares about the citizens. Nobody cares about the people that actually live and work in the city. We're just gonna let protesters run all over the place and take over everything.
Now, some businesses along Williamson Street have chosen to stay open. Others have closed, including St. Vincent de Paul, which is right on
the. You got to close your business.
Encampment is, and now the city also tells me that they are expecting a busy apartment move-in at a complex near this area, and that they're currently coordinating access to and from that this upcoming weekend. But in the meantime, at this encampment, porta potties have been brought in here. Garbage pickup has been arranged for.
Look at this piece of Okay, first of all, who is funding that? Who is buying the porta potties or renting them out and putting them here? But just look at all the trash, the garbage.
And from that this upcoming weekend. But in the meantime, at this encampment, porta potties have been brought in here. Garbage pickup has been arranged for both residents and people staying at the encampment. And
oh my God! And then they paint over the street sign. That's going to cost taxpayer dollars to fix. The trash pickup has to coordinate with them. Just fucking run them over. Run the whole damn man. This is crazy.
Another trash collection is scheduled for this Thursday. Now, the first few days of the encampment, city salt trucks were blocking off the intersection, and I'm told drivers were sticking around to be able to move the trucks in case of a medical emergency inside of the encampment. Now, with the city helping facilitate some of this, I asked Alder Davey just how much it's costing the city.
I can't say, what it's all costing, but I'm sure.
Oh, that's fantastic. You don't even know. You put these people in leadership, they don't even know.
Sure, we'll find out.
But there is, a price tag to keep something like this going.
Certainly. So when we have those salt trucks going, there's overtime involved, certainly. And with any of these other services, yes.
I also reached out to Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway's office for an interview today, which her office told me a no for today. I then reached out for a statement on what the plans are for this encampment, and she did not release a statement to me besides pointing me to public release statements saying that the office recognizes the community's pain over the killing of Corey Ruiz and that they're working with residents and businesses in the area to come to a peaceful resolution. Now, there is not a set deadline that the city has announced for the reopening of Williamson Street in the intersection here and the clearing out of this encampment, which you can see has obviously grown over the last couple of days. But protesters that I've spoken with here tell me they're not going anywhere until the officer involved in this shooting is facing charges. Back to you.
So just hold the city hostage, huh? Hold the city hostage. Well, what are the business owners saying? What are the people that are actually living there and stuff saying? Let's see if we can try to hear from them.
Many business owners along Williamson Street met with the alder for that area last night to discuss how the encampment is impacting their business. Lauren Albuzet is speaking with the co-owner of Mother Fools about what they talked about and the action they want the city to take.
It only takes a few seconds to walk from the encampment to businesses on Williamson Street. Owners say that small distance makes a big difference, with one telling me if this goes on, the financial impact could be devastating.
And I am very worried about Willie Street businesses and their workers. I also understand why people are encamped there.
Stephanie Rierick is co-owner of Mother Fools Coffee House. She says business has slowed significantly since the encampment began. Wednesday night, owners of many area businesses met with Alder Davey Mayer and representatives from the Williamson Marquette Business Alliance to discuss challenges they're facing. Rierick says many are worried about how much longer they can survive.
Would love to see a little bit clearer vision and leadership and strength in showing how the root problem will be addressed.
Rierick says owners want long-term solutions from the city, including policies for kinder policing, affordable housing, and addressing economic disparities. Only then.
Listen, bro, we just get a couple trucks together, a couple big dudes together, just go down there. We clean house in 5 minutes. Call it a day. Let them yell and scream, "You fascists! Get out of here, fascists!" Yeah, that's all you hear is just a bunch of crying, bunch of dogs yapping. We just pick up all that shit, throw that shit in the trash. The moment they start trying to get violent with us, Second Amendment their asses. Fuck this. We had that shit cleaned up in under an hour. Fuck this, man. Y'all holding my city hostage? I don't live there, but if I did, this would be, man, come on. I know there's got to be a couple dudes out there that still have their balls attached. There's got to be a couple, right? What are they going to do? Call the police? Whoops. Whoops. Police, help us. 911. Help us. We got a couple Chads coming down here to disrupt our police protest. So what you're saying is you're protesting the police and you're calling the police for help. Yes. You're going to think about your little protest after this? What? You fascists? If I was that 911 operator, click. I would prefer to lose my job over giving them some assistance from the department they're protesting. But yeah, listen, this is what happens when you give liberals an inch. They take over everything. We really need to we need to really lock it down in this country and teach these Democrats, these socialists, a fucking lesson. Right now, the biggest lesson we can teach them immediately that all of us can contribute to is winning the midterms. It's going to be a hard task to do. By every metric, we should lose either the House or the Senate. By every metric, we should. But we were also supposed to lose the presidency to Kamala Harris as well. We were supposed to lose that election. They were cheating. The polls were saying that Kamala was winning. They hit Donald Trump with every lawfare tactic in the book. They tried to assassinate him twice. We were supposed to lose that election, but somehow, some way, America pulled through, right? And so it's up to us, the American people, man. Yes, make it too big to rig. We got to do it again. We got to get out there and vote, y'all. It's so fucking important to vote this midterms, because if we lose either the House or the Senate, we're fucked. We are absolutely 100% fucked. And I hate to say it like that, but it's either we keep winning or we let them get one. If they win just one time, that filibuster gone. They will push everything through Congress that will restrict Donald Trump. They will impeach him. They will arrest him. They will do everything they can to destroy us, to destroy America from the inside out if we do not get out and vote. And I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope y'all are, man. I even hope the moderate Democrats that hate us, I hope they're paying attention to what their party has become. But, you know, they're just going to vote blue no matter who. So I would like them to prove me wrong and to say, do I want to vote for the socialist that wants to destroy my city? Or can I at least go with the Republican that at least is just normal and just wanting to lower taxes and, you know, support ICE, I guess. What are y'all going to choose? I guess you just going to choose. I guess y'all are just going to choose the destruction of your cities. I guess that's what y'all want. Crazy, man. I hope I'm not getting sick. I don't know why I'm
The termination of the TPS program will have
got congestion this morning. It's got to be allergies. I hope. I never had allergies until recently. Anyways. Wounds are us. Thank you for the 5. You said, love, you can drop an F-bomb so early. You can't drop an F-bomb so early? Is that what you mean? I know. It was a serious topic, though. Iron Cowgirl, thank you again for the star. Another star. And the sparkles. There we go. Thank you for the gifts. Could be the smoke in the air, maybe. I don't know. We all... It's not even a point of voting for a party anymore. It's like, we just got to vote for America, or do you want to vote for socialists? I'm calling them socialists because they're running as socialists. I know we got to understand socialism and communism is the same exact thing. It's like socialism is just the cute paint job they put on top of it. But anyways, let's get to the Haitians. Haitians, baby. Let's get to it. We've almost been live for 2 hours. It does not feel like that. I feel like we just hit our first hour. But I guess when you love what you're doing and you're having a good time, time just flies, huh? You said you're new to the chat environment on YouTube? Well, welcome to the family. This is the Daily Discourse family. In case y'all don't know, this is the secondary channel. This is the MAGA Morning Show channel. For those of y'all that don't know, you can join us at night when I go live over here. This is the main channel. Let me just show y'all real quick. The Daily Discourse with Arturo. All right, we got 233,000 subscribers strong. Big family over there. And you watching right now, you're watching the MAGA Morning Show. All right. This is the secondary channel. Come join us at night. Anywhere from like 6 to, well, I would say 7 to 10 o'clock. We're typically live throughout the week. I'm taking Sundays off, but I got so much content for y'all. It's ridiculous. We got live streams every day. We got videos every day. We just debunked Candace Owens and all her crap that she just released earlier this week. And we just destroyed all that. Y'all can check that out right here. And we just, listen, man, we're just fighting for our country. That's all we're doing over here. So we are getting it, guys. We're absolutely getting it. Come join us on the main channel. There's a link in the description of this video you're watching right now. And come join us, man. Have a good time at night. But let's get back to, we got 2 more topics to talk about. We got to talk about Haitians, all right? Or yeah, let's talk about these Haitians. So now that Haitians have lost their TPS, they're set to be deported, right? Around 300,000 of them getting set up to be deported. Well, now companies realize time is up for them. And so they are actually facing massive layoffs because they are Haitians. So we don't even have to wait for the deportations. Jobs are about to be open for everybody right now.
The impact the termination of the TPS program will have, not just for immigrants, but their employers and the people they care for.
Monday, Haitians and Syrians were the latest groups to lose temporary protective status. So that means senior care centers, hospitals, construction companies, and others are now forced to lay off these critical employees. NBC 10's immigration reporter Oscar Morgain is on it tonight. He's live in Boston. And Oscar, you spoke to those affected by this decision from the federal government. What are they telling you?
Yeah, well, we're told that these are jobs, essential jobs in industries that struggle with staffing. The impact trickling down to you and me.
My future is on hold right now.
32.
What is that thing on his head? I'm sorry.
32-year-old Davidson of Haiti is out of a job and losing hope. He has lived in the U.S. for the last 16 years under the government's temporary protected status.
Is that his house? Big dog. I don't know if you know this, but your house is a piece of shit. You might as well listen, bro. You might as well just self-deport now. Get your $2,600. Call it a day. Just call it a day. You had 15 years. You had 15 years in America to try to get your citizenship and to get your life in order. And the most you can come up with is this piece of shit crack house.
Davidson,
I'm sorry,
is out of a job and losing hope. He has lived in the U.S. for the last 16 years under the government's temporary protected status, granted to Haitians after the devastating earthquake of 2010. But on Monday, that protection came to an end for 350,000 or so Haitians after a Supreme Court decision.
It's very stressful in a way because I have financial responsibilities.
It also means he could get deported, a reality for thousands like him. But the impact of this decision by the Trump administration goes beyond that.
You know, many of the folks that we serve have significant disabilities. They require a lot of care and compassion, and it takes time to develop therapeutic relationships with people, right? And these were folks who came in and did that.
Kevin Martone with Bay Cove Human Services said he had to lay off 9 people with TPS. Other groups have had to do the same.
1 in 4 workers in our sector is foreign born.
Providers Council President Bill Jelinek represents more
than a problem.
Community-based human service providers.
1 in 6 direct care positions in human services is already vacant. There's no line out the door for these jobs. This makes the crisis worse.
According to a...
You know what's crazy? It's not only did the Haitians think that temporary protective status would be permanent, but these business owners, they also expected them to be here permanently. They literally treated them like, well, we can't get rid of them or else the business will collapse, right? So you can't have TPS be looked at as like it's just a permanent thing. That defeats the whole purpose of it. Temporary, right? It's just crazy that even the business owners are looking at them like they're not ever going to be deported or they're not ever going to lose them as employees.
Boston Indicator study, about 62% of the state's 37,000 TPS holders are from Haiti. Those who rely on their services, like Alma Perez, fear what it means for their future care. Yes, it's affecting hospitals because many of us patients are having to wait even longer to be attended to. There's just not enough staff to cover.
Well, that's too damn bad. That is just too, I'm sorry. This is what happens when you rely on illegal immigrants to take care of your country. Like what we have in across the country in these farms, right? We depend on illegal immigrants. We depend on slave labor wages. We depend on that. Now that we've built a system that depends on that, in order to fix a broken system, we have to suffer. Prices of groceries are going to skyrocket because we're deporting all these farm workers, right? Because now these farmers are going to have to, these farm owners are going to have to pay people an actual, minimum wage salary. And so, and probably insurance, I guess, too. Well, probably not insurance, but they're going to have to pay them more like a normal business would have to, right? And so that's going to affect the prices of everything. But that's what happens. That's the consequences of cheating the system or building something on broken foundation. Eventually, you're going to have to move it out the way or destroy it to rebuild the foundation the right way.
No hay suficiente personal.
Davidson can no longer work helping kids with mental health struggles. He says he has no home.
Bro, you got your own struggles. Look at this. You got your own struggles. And you're going to be out there helping kids? I don't want you helping my kid. You don't even have a door handle on your car, bro. What'd you run into with that? What are we talking about here? Is he already in Haiti? Did I miss his deportation flight? What are we talking about?
Work helping kids with mental health struggles. He says he has no home to go back to in gang-ridden Haiti and fears he'll be targeted by ICE.
The government just come and says, this is it. I'm sorry, you have to go.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is hanging off his head. Looks like a pet turd trying to say hi. Anyways, so, okay, they are feeling the impact of that. They are saying that, we're all going to suffer because we're getting rid of these Haitians. I don't think I've ever met a Haitian in my entire life, to be honest with y'all. So I don't think my life will be affected in any way. And I'm sure there are some people that will feel the impact. But again, this is what happens when you have a broken system that relies on illegal immigration or pretending like they're supposed to be here permanently when they only have temporary protective status, right? So what are people saying that are defending these Haitians? Let's hear from some advocates of these Haitians.
Now to growing fear of mass deportations as President Trump works to tighten immigration. Yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security signaled its intentions to end the temporary protected status for 335,000 people from Haiti, Yemen, and Syria. These are people who have been living and working in the U.S. for years as their countries deal with natural and political turmoil. DHS issued this memo telling employers the work authorization for TPS holders from these three countries are no longer valid, and that move comes amid active court orders preventing the federal government from terminating TPS and its work authorization early. Today we spoke with the International Rescue Committee. It's a group that advocates for refugees here in the U.S. and across the world. They warned that conditions in Haiti have not improved for people to return.
Given the termination of temporary protected status for Haitians, we have, grave concerns around mass returns to Haiti. The International Rescue Committee has a program in Haiti, and for the last 2 years, Haiti is ranked among the top 10 countries in the world on our watch list for the worst.
Well, that is just too fucking bad. Sorry. So listen to this. You got Haitians thinking they're going to stay here forever. You got business owners thinking their Haitian employees are going to stay here forever. You got Haiti itself saying, "Oh, we never expected y'all were going to bring them back." No, everyone saw the word temporary and just thought it meant permanent. Apparently, nobody thought it was ever going to end. This is what happens. It's like when a kid, you give a kid a free cookie and you say, "That's the last one." And they say, "Okay, thank you." And then they come ask you, "Hey, can I get another cookie?" You said, "Man, I told you that was the last one." "Yeah, but I really want another cookie." "Fine, here's the other cookie." And then they come back, "Can I get another cookie?" "No, I told you no."
He needs some milk.
"Fine, here's the fucking bag of cookies. Take it all. Take it all." And that's America. Only America, the way Democrats do it, is like, here's your last cookie. "Oh, can I have another cookie?" "Yeah, of course. I love you. I would never starve you from these cookies. Take the whole box. I'll buy you more." As a matter of fact, let me call your grandma and tell her to whip you up a new batch, and let's just go ahead and feed you more cookies. And then the kid's gonna be tomorrow, hey, where's my cookies at? I'm sorry. I didn't mean, I'm sorry. Grandma, whip up another batch. He's hungry. I want more cookies now. That's what we have done. That's what America has done by pussyfooting around and giving everybody what they want. It's time for daddy to come home and say, hey man, you ain't getting no more fucking cookies. I'm done. You want this belt? It's either no cookies or this belt. Pick one. That's what it's gonna be. That's how men handle this shit. I'm gonna be sitting here giving them the whole batch of cookies, letting them come over here and boss me around. Hey man, where my cookies at, bro? Little 2-year-old walking in here. Where my cookies at? I'm sorry. Here's the cookies. Here's the cookies. No, we need daddy to come home and pop that belt and say, what? You want what? I'm sorry, sir. I don't want anything. When's dinner? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Put the fear in them. Anyways, back to
first humanitarian crises. About half the country doesn't have enough to eat on a regular basis, and we're seeing escalating violence in the capital and other parts of the country. So it is very concerning to see not just the U.S. but other countries as well pushing nations to return when the conditions don't really allow for a safe environment for people to return to.
Yeah, that sucks.
The group released a new report saying the refugee situation around the world is facing its serious test, with wealthy communities and governments curtailing humanitarian funding. They fear the months ahead could be dire for people in search of permanent homes.
Well, you know what? They're about to get an influx of 300,000 Haitians. You know what they could do? They can all come together and they can fix their country. Get this shit off the screen. They can all come together and they can take over whatever regime is so violent over there. They can whoop the criminals' asses, and they can all come together and build a brand new nation. Hell, a boost of 300,000 people ready to go, hardworking, educated, healthcare workers. You know what I'm saying? Listen, why don't y'all come together and build? Y'all got money. Y'all lived in the country for 15 years. You could take them US dollars, take them back over there. And for those of y'all that are broke and you ain't done nothing the whole time you were here, like homeboy with his little turd hair, y'all can self-deport, at least take $2,600 over there. Listen, at least you could do that. And you could try to rebuild your homeland. So what are we talking about here? What are we doing? Why do we have to suffer because y'all failed at everything? No? Okay. I don't care. Have fun. Enjoy the flight. Hopefully they got peanuts and just be thankful it's not a Spirit flight, okay? Because Spirit, you'd probably see there'd probably be like 10 fights before you even got on the damn plane, and you might be just shot just for sitting there waiting on the plane. But enjoy your flight. Now we got one more thing to talk about. I might just run through this real quick, but let's go ahead and get into it. Let me read these super chats first, because this is the guy who's been cooking the books on ice. So we got to talk about this. Heavy Hook, good morning, brother. Thank you for the 100. Magic Man, thank you for the gold coin. Gracie Tracy, thank you for the happy poop. Heavy Hook with the GG. Wounds Are Us, thank you for the 5 on Rumble. Social services is designed to connect people to resources. Why don't they identify those resources in their countries? Yank the nonprofit status of worthless organizations. Why don't they do that? We don't have the resources. Well, why don't you build them? Okay. Fine, just keep crying and we'll fix it. Let daddy fix everything for everybody. A Heavy Hook with another GG and a thumbs up. Thank you, brother. I appreciate y'all. Now let's talk about ICE. Because this story, I didn't hear anything about it. And there's really not much news coverage about it at all. There's so little news coverage about this that really there is nothing for me to pull up other than his own statement. So we have a liberal that has been in the Trump administration the first time Trump was in office. He worked under Biden, and he was working under Trump now. This guy right here, his name is Mark Rosenblum, and he is the statistician. He runs the department that gets all the stats together to show how many deportations are actually happening, right? They get he's the one that gets the deportation numbers for us. Now, he has either been fired or he has resigned. He says he resigned. The Trump administration say they fired him. I think they fired him, but he came out and posted on LinkedIn his thoughts. Now, this guy is a liberal, right? He is actually happy to no longer work under Donald Trump. He is ecstatic about it. So, as this post says, breaking, the top DHS statistics official just announced his abrupt exit. Mark Rosenblum, who led Homeland Security's data office since 2016, said he is thrilled to end his relationship with the current administration, citing a war on immigrants. Yeah, when you get invaded by millions of illegals, it is a war, baby. His departure comes during scrutiny over deportation numbers in a lawsuit by It's Your Gov Oversight Project, demanding more detailed interior enforcement data. Okay, now this is the guy. That's the guy. Timu Jeff Goldblum over here. He says, I'm sad and thrilled to say that yesterday was my last day working at DHS. I'm incredibly proud of the work my team and I did to build the Office of Homeland Security Statistics. When I started OIS in 2016, we were a scrappy team of 11 that struggled to produce annual reports. Over the next 10 and a half years, we grew to a pre-Trump 2.0 staff of 45 people. We expanded the scope of our reporting from only immigration to all of DHS statistical data. We matured official data processing to update monthly. We launched new lines of daily and weekly internal reports. We massively expanded our analytic capacity. We established the DHS-wide Statistical Official Council and validated hundreds of enterprise statistical standards. We overhauled our website. We modernized our IT system and migrated our data to the cloud. It's been an honor to serve the public by improving DHS data quality and supporting evidence-based policymaking. So let me get this clear for you guys, because remember, there was never an anti-ICE movement until we had wide open borders. When he was in the Trump administration the first time, liberals were all gung-ho about getting rid of illegal immigrants. They were all on the same page. That's why Obama had such high numbers. There was cooperation all across the country. Everyone was on the same page, right? And so even the lefty liberals were sitting here saying that, yeah, we need to improve ICE. We need to get illegals out of here, right? It was only until Trump came back and one of his main promises and sticking points was ICE and mass deportations. Now they had to flip the script and they had to change their way of thinking and saying, well, now we don't support ICE. Now we don't support deportations, right? So he built this system, did all this, right? But now under the Trump administration, he decided he was going to change things up a little bit. Now we can't trust him. When we talk about the deep state, what is the deep state exactly? It's people that have been in government, for decades, most of them for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? And it's like, imagine a Democrat from 1990s that is now working under the Trump administration and purposely sabotaging his agenda, his administration and everything. That's what a deep state government employee is. And this guy, he's not too deep, right? He's only been there for 10 years, but he worked under Biden. He worked under Trump the first time. But now, as a liberal, he has to work against Donald Trump and now ICE this second time around. So you cannot trust this guy with this data. You just simply can't. He's the one reporting the numbers. So you have to think, maybe he puts out a lot of numbers when ICE first gets in office, right? Because that tells the left, yeah, they're going after illegals. They're doing a lot of arrests. They're going after, there's crazy numbers. They're arresting a bunch of them, right? But then he realizes that makes ICE look good to the voters that voted for mass deportations. To us, that makes ICE look good for us. But it seems that around 2026, he figured out that if they can cook the books and lower the numbers, that actually hurts Trump more than anything. And now we have people like Bovino and all these other reporters on ICE coming out and saying that ICE arrest numbers are record lows and all this other bullshit, right? You understand what I'm saying here? I believe that these record low numbers that we were getting the past couple months was his intention. And so they caught on to it and they canned his ass and got rid of him. And now he's on the way out the door and he's saying, well, this was a war on immigrants. Yeah, exactly. We voted for that. We are voting for a war on illegal aliens, not just immigrants, but illegal aliens. And so he goes on to continue saying, I'm sad to suspend my career, blah, 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 blah. His team is smart. They're all good on this. They give high quality results, even though it's a hostile environment. Partner with hundreds of fabulous feds over the last decade. Work side by blah, 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 blah. And then he says at the very end of it, but it will come as no surprise that I'm thrilled to end my relationship with the current administration. Between the war on immigrants, the war on feds, and the war on facts. And then he talks about the Iran war and all that. And he continues on, but I don't know what the rest of his statement says. It's not here. But you can clearly tell he's against the Trump administration. He wants them to look bad. At first, it was saying that they're arresting so many. This is terrible. This is a bad thing. But then he saw that actually helped Donald Trump. It actually improved favor with his base. And then he switched it around and said, okay, you know what? Let's actually say they're not arresting that many people. And then what happened? We had a bunch of division happening right now that shows that we're at record low arrests, self-deportations, non-existent, right? That's what's happening. And I feel like he was a main source of that. Well, just 2 days ago, on July 29th, he was fired and he's no longer gone. So we'll see what happens in the future. But I think ICE's numbers are going to improve dramatically. And we'll see exactly what happens as things unfold. But he was a problem. He was a deep state lunatic and he was the one in control of the ICE numbers. And now he's gone. So we're going to see some changes here in the near future. This whole story that Bovino is talking about, I have sources in ICE and DHS and all that. I'm starting to think myself, who are these sources? And can we trust them? Clearly, we can't trust this guy, a liberal, who is the one managing the numbers for ICE. So what does that mean when it comes to Bovino talking about his sources telling him we have record low information? How can I trust Bovino is what I'm saying. Now, how can I trust Tom Homan? How can I trust Mark Wayne Mullins, right? It's hard to say, but I'm looking at these two people. I'm looking at this division happening right now between Bovino and Tom Homan, and I'm saying something's not right here. They're trying to hurt Trump. That's the bottom line. And I think Bovino is actually in on it to try to hurt Donald Trump. And I don't like that. I don't like that one single bit. But he's manipulating us on the right in order to get that division through. Same way all these people came out and anti-Israel, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the feds are covering for it. You know what I mean? It's not good, man. It's not good. We got way too much division happening right now. And I liked Bavino. I was a big fan of his. But recently, watching his behavior, his responses to me on X, seeing what he's saying, seeing that he's on all these interviews, repeating himself, saying unrealistic things, like over exaggerating what we should be getting. It seems like he knows he can lie about things just like Candace Owens. He can lie about things. He can make claims that he knows will never be true, but he can say that. And the Republicans are saying, yeah, I do want that. I do want mass deportations. I do want 10 million illegals deported in 1 year. Yeah, we want that, but it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. So I feel like he's running with that. He's running with y'all's hopes and dreams. He understands the reality, what is possible and what's not possible, and he's selling you guys the not possible. So I don't trust him. I do not trust Gregory Bavino. I've tried to give him a chance, but the more and more he stacks on top of it, the more and more I can't trust him. So I liked his work when he was handling the protesters. Got to give him a lot of credit for that. I think he did great with the protesters. I used to admire him. I was like, this dude is so fucking awesome. He's amazing. But now he's proving to be a problem. He could possibly be a deep state guy just like this guy. Remember, he's been in Border Patrol for 30 years. He retired after a 30-year career. So he's been here for a long time. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you guys what I think. And I don't want you guys to just turn on Bavino because of what I'm saying. This is just the way I feel. And I'm just showing you how I feel about it. But this guy being fired, that's good news. Now we're going to see some real ICE numbers, hopefully. But maybe we can't even trust this whole department. Maybe the whole department needs to be upended and rebuilt with the right people. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just see what happens moving forward and realize this guy was a problem and he's now gone. So, yep, sounds like a bitter ex. Bavino sounds exactly like a bitter ex. Exactly like it. Hell, I mean, he even admitted, he told Kristi Noem to get out in those commercials and to advertise, self-deportations, which I guess it worked, right? They said they got millions of illegals to self-deport. I don't know where the records of that is. I don't know where the documentation of that is or the stats on that is. We never got that, but I don't know. It's so hard to tell who to trust anymore. I'm going with my gut instinct, and I may be wrong, but I'm going with my gut instinct on that. Anyways. Yeah, his whole team needs to be replaced. That whole department of 45 people or whatever, which I think they shrunk when Doge got a hold of it. They really need to just get through them. Check out their social medias. Ask people that know that, actually go in there and really vet these people. See if they're worthy of being in that department or not. Because if they're all liberals, if they're all lefties, man, just can them. Just can them. Rebuild it from the ground up. Cindy, thank you for the $2. He said, Arturo, I love the MAGA morning show. I love it too, Cindy. It's so good. And Crystal with the biggest super chat, I think, of this week. Thank you for the $50, Crystal. You are easily the sponsor of the show. He said, hey, Arturo and fam, love the new channel. I wanted to give you a little boost. Great job. Love you guys, and God bless America. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Hope you're doing well as well. I hope you are doing well also, or as well. Yeah, whatever. I hope you're doing well. But that's going to do it for today, you guys. I think it was a great show. Great week. This is our new thing, man. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central sharp. Again, later when my son goes to school, we might push it back 30 minutes or an hour. But we will be here in the morning. And I will give you guys the real news, the stuff that you actually care about, and we're going to get it, man. But I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for spending this morning with me. With that being said, I'm going to see you guys tonight where we're going to cover this whole massive invasion going on in Europe right now, right? So I love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. Have yourselves a good, productive day. I'll see you guys tonight.
Somebody once asked Donald Trump, how do you handle being at the center of all of this media attention, the whirlwind around you? How do you weather the storm? And he looked up and he said, I am the storm. I am the storm.
Fading fire, I see the sky begin to fall apart. I know you're tired, but you can't keep running. Terrified, I won't see you on the other side. The cancer couldn't stop, now you're buried in a box, but you can't keep running. I wanna know the way it feels. You cheated death, but now it's real. When your eyes roll back and the world turns black, can heaven fall into my lonely earth? 'Cause hell is when I know you won't return. Can heaven fall to earth? I wanna feel it come down. Neon grave, illuminated